Hello, children. How are you doing this morning? So you're welcome to a beautiful class today. We'll be having our content writing class today with our amazing coaches, Coach Isu and Coach Arabella. So they will begin their class in a very short time. So just to let you know that summer camp is soon going to come to an end, and I would advise that you get ready for your what's it called now? Your assessment and the rest, everything that's going to help you to get the best out of this summer camp, right? So the assessment will be sent to you at the last week of this month. So you get to do it the last week of that month and as well submit for your certification. So thank you so much. I'm inviting Coach Isu and Coach Arabella to take over from here. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for queuing us in. Arabella, are you here with us? Okay. Welcome to Charlie Summer Camp 2025. And stay with me while I share my screen. Okay, so we're about to share our screen. And yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. I joined Charlie Summer Camp. Okay. So before we start talking about principles of writing, I have with me our coach, Sarah Ojone. Sarah, say hi.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome. So,
Sorry, I keep
no, that's fine. That's fine. Welcome back.
thinking.
So, um, had it been you joined our previous class, wouldn't have done a lot reflecting your mind back. But now you're forcing us to go back in time. So, going back in time, we gave you an assessment to work on, and we are hoping submitted it yesterday because we are checking it this morning, and we'll give you a review by evening. We recommended a book for you to read so you could fill in our word bank. And then if you've not seen a book yet, let me show you this because you are missing out. You're missing out so much. Checking our book, you'd see the assertive power of saying no. And I just need you to have this glimpse first. So just this phone notes to you, and then reflect a man back on this phone note. He said, "Hey, superstar, did you know you have a superpower?" Yep, it's called assertiveness. This little book is like a treasure map leading you to the magical land of confidence. You meet some cool friends, learn how to say no in funny ways, and discover how to stand up for yourself with kindness and courage. Are you ready to unlock your superpower? Let's go into today's class. Let's go into today's class. I promise you today's class will be so fun and you bet you shouldn't miss it. So today we'll be talking about the principles of writing and we'll chop it down into three stages, which is one, the basic writing structure, two, organizing ideas, and three, generating ideas for writing. Move to the next slide. Whoa! Well, we say, wow! Okay. Before this explanation came up, you would go back and say, what is principles of writing? And a thought struck in my head. principle of writing, do you mean a principal of a school? Obviously, I had this thought while I was still young, because I attended a primary school where there was a secondary school inside, and when I went to their class to go and make inquiry, when I went into their school to make inquiries, I now went in there and asked them, because I was thinking principal is a feminine category, while principal is the masculine category, while principal is for the feminine category. So when I now went to the school, I was like, I want to see your principal, because I was not sure if it's actually a principal of the school is categorized for a male or the principal. So no. It's not principal of writing. It's not categorized to the school. It's actually principles of writing. And then here's the definition. So yeah, that helps something work well. The principle of writing is about how to share your thoughts clearly so people can understand them. So if you're with me, you find out that to have this principle of writing, you need to think it. First, imagine what you want to say, you plan it. Next, you decide the best order for your ideas, and then write it. Finally, you put in your words, make sure it makes sense. So we'll start. One, basic writing structure. So Arabella, you take it from here.
Okay, sir. Well, okay, so a good story has a clear beginning, middle, and end. Now, one thing that makes up a good story is how you start that story, how you arrange your ideas in the middle of the story, and how you conclude the story at the end. Now, start with an interesting introduction to hook the readers. Now, if I'm reading something from you and I don't get interested at the beginning, I might not want to continue reading, right? But if I have a beginning or a starting that talks about something contradictory in nature, something that other people know it's like this, but you say it's not like that, I would be curious to know, okay, if you are putting it from this point of view, what could be your backup plan, right? So if you are starting a story or a content or a message or anything at all, you need to start with a very interesting introduction. It's from your starting that people will want to read into your main ideas. Then develop the plot with exciting events. Don't just tell us something, right? Don't just tell us this was how the dog beat the man, this was how the man went to the house, right? That's very boring. Help us to imagine how the dog actually beat the man. Help us to imagine how the man actually went to the house, right? Then finally provide a satisfying conclusion. When you are done with all your events, with all your stories, with everything you want us to know about a particular event, conclude it with a bang. Like let it be that by the time I'm done reading it, I am still thinking about it. There's a movie I watched recently, and honestly, I have been thinking about that movie over and over and over again because I just don't understand how they ended the movie the way they ended it, right? So there are certain things that you watch or you read, and by the end of the day, you're still thinking about how could they have ended it or what happened. So when you are concluding a story, first of all, ensure that your conclusion is very satisfying and it brings all your ideas in the middle together, right? Now, encourage kids to think about the characters, the settings, and conflict to make their story come to life. Now, believe me when I tell you that what makes a story to come to life is the conflict in the story. Life is full of so many conflicts, like so many conflicts, right? And if your story is so plain, if it just has to do with the good things that happen in life, nobody would want to read it. I want to listen to things that look like what I encounter in my day-to-day life. So let your characters be sweet, let your settings, your plot be interesting, and let your conflict be realistic. Let me want to read more because these kinds of things happen in real life, and these are the things that will definitely make your story to come to life.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Which made me bring this to you all when I introduced this class. I told you this fun note that was written by our founder. Hey, superstar. It made an interesting hook. Do you get? So he now gave you a call to action. Are you ready to unlock your superpower? So Arabella
Mm,
has bisected this into a very sweet way that Come on, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So let's go ahead and move to the next slide where she talked about the plot twist. So Arabella, you can go ahead. When we talked about the main characters, the beginning. So we have something we call the writing skeleton. So Arabella will talk more and more on this writing skeleton. Please proceed.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. So we have what we call, or what my boss rather loves to call the plot skeleton. Now it has to do with how your story should come up, right? Your story has section. It has the head, it has the neck that joins the head to the body, it has the body, it has the legs, and all these parts need to come together if you want a full human being. In other words, if you want a full plot, right? Now, your head section has to do with what? With the needs of your characters. Everybody has needs, and your story must have a need. For instance, if I want to tell a story about, let's say, my friend Blessing, for instance, I need to tell you what Blessing needs. Maybe she needs friendship, maybe she needs money, maybe she needs education. She just has to need something, right? So your character or your plot rather must start with a need. Somebody needs something, right? Now after they need something, there must be an inciting incident. There must be one day something happened. So all this while she doesn't have a friend in school. She works alone back home. Then all of a sudden one day she found the bear on the road, or one day she found the pigeon that became her best friend. One day something just happened. One day these are the events that will now begin to break down everything that happens in Blessing's life. Then you begin to come down to what she needs help with. So she found that parrot on the road, right? Then she took the parrot home. She cared for the parrot. Now she's helping the parrot, and that parrot is now talking with her. They're becoming best of friends, right? Then after that, there's a lesson to learn, right? That you should not kill any animal you see on the road, or no, you should help everybody you see on the road because the other person can help you. So now she helped the parrot, and now the parrot has become her best friend, right? That is a lesson she's learning. So these things come together to make your story has to have a need, not just a need alone. The person needs to have an inciting incident, something interesting, something that sets the whole story needs to happen. One day they found a dead man in the room. How did the man die? We don't know. Let us begin to find out how the man died. One day they found that the dog has only 3 legs. How did the dog have only 3 legs, right? Then you need to talk about the help. The dog needs help. Blessing needs help. The parrot needs help. Then what lesson, what decision the Blessing make? Did she say, okay, this parrot, I want to kill it? No, this parrot, I want to throw it away. I want to help this parrot. I want to heal this parrot. Then there must be a resolution where the whole story comes to an end. The story must definitely come down. So from the rising is starting, then you get to the peak where there's tension. Will he kill it? Will she eat it? What will happen to it? Then it comes down to the end of the lessons, the conclusions, the resolution. Then your story is perfect. So all your stories must have these three main parts. One, the need of the person. Two, what the person needs help with. And three, the lessons that comes down to conclude your story.
That's
Thank you.
that's that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So now we'll move into second chapter of the lessons. So the second chapter of the lessons is called organizing ideas. So you have to organize your ideas. How do you organize your ideas? When you have words, or when you have a storyline in your head, it's all shabby. You just have thought of, this could be interesting. Oh yeah, I have this thought. Okay, what if the main character dies in the middle of the movie? How is it going to be? Okay. Someone tells you, that's not going to make sense. Okay, how about I make the main character die at the beginning of the movie,
Mm.
or at the beginning of the book, so we could now unfold how the cause of the death happened. Yeah. So when you write out these outlines, you have a glimpse of how you're going to structure your writing. So once you write out how you spent your last holiday, you now structure your essay when you're asked to write this in school, because you're all going to go back to school. You get, so they'll ask you, how do you spend your last holiday? And besides a disclaimer, you're going to write how you spent your classes with childish summer camp. So all your
Yeah.
classes, you're going to write them down, telling us your experiences. So it's better you pick interest in our lessons now. Outline all the major things you learned, the minor things you learned, the things you overlooked. Write all of them down. Write all of them down. Use an outline. Write them down. So when you're done outlining all what you think, all the juicy part of the story, you now group them. You get, so now, okay, you now understand that there are some that are supposed to come before the other ones. This is supposed to unfold before the next. Like let's say you wake up in the morning. You cannot just say I slept and then I went to church on Sunday. Today is Saturday. So it's assumed you woke up in the morning and you did your morning chores. When you woke up, you brush your teeth. After brushing, you wash the plates, you clean the house, you took your bath, then you had breakfast, and then the day unfold. You don't just say, I woke up in the morning and then I watched movie and then I slept and then I went to church. Those are, you have a lot. Or you say, I woke up in the morning, I went to church, and then when I got back from church, I now took my bath, and then I read my book, and then I did my assignment. You start scattering the order of your ideas. So once you start writing out the outlines of how your story is supposed to be, you get everything categorized. You put them in under groups. This is supposed to come, this is supposed to be part one, this is supposed to be part two, this is supposed to be part three. So now when you're supposed to have these ideas all organized, first you've given your outlines. Second, you've grouped the ideas, how they are related. Then you use connections like connectors and transitions to make sure that they are seamless transitions. Don't just jump. You were trying to tell someone a story about a dog. Like there's this funny stuff that trend online. Like, yeah, I want to tell you something. So you don't have to fight with someone that uses handkerchief to choke somebody's eye. Yes. So that's why the farmer went to the farm and then discovered that water was not rushing in the pool. So when you cook your yam, you cannot eat it and have it because there is a cake. That does not make sense. Do you understand? So you need to use connectors and transitions to make sure that all this thing works. You make it unfold stage by stage so that you keep your readers glued. You don't just keep them confused and then out in the cold. Do you understand? So yes, use an outline. List your main points in order before writing. Arrange them from the most important to the least important or in a chronological order. Okay, like telling a story about your birthday. First, the party started, then we played games, and then we had cake, and then that's perfect. That's organizing your ideas so your readers follows along with it without getting lost. You see, if you look into our slide, you find out someone fell down from the spaceship. You could ask yourself, okay, how did this person get captured in the spaceship in the first place? But and there comes it. Start unfolding your ideas. So the reader was lost. So he fell down from the spaceship. Don't ask me why. So our next slide, please take that, Madam Arabella.
Okay, thank you, sir. So the next slide talks about group-related ideas and use connectors and transitions. Now, in the group-related ideas, put similar thoughts together under the same headings. Now, there are so many thoughts. One of the things I realized when writing is that a book content is that the more you write, the more you have so many thoughts coming in. You want to write about this, you want to write about that, and there are so many, right? And not all ideas are under the same heading. We have science, we have art, we have commercial, we have so many. Ensure that you group each idea. An idea that has to do with animals, group it. An idea that has to do with family, group it. So that whenever you want to write another content, you can write on those topics. If I begin to see, just like Boss said already, if I begin to see ideas on cake making, and I see ideas on spaceship, and I see an idea on going to work, there are so many ideas, and I don't know which one you are actually talking about. So if I want to write about purpose, for instance, let me focus on purpose and everything that relates to purpose, let me write it. Now, the next one is avoid jumping between unrelated points, just like I have said already. Don't be jumping from this point to that point. Don't tell us about your birthday party, then jump to how you went through your holiday, then jump to how your friend annoyed you. There are too many ideas already, right? So when you write down your main points, begin to write things that connect to them and ensure that anything that does not connect to it, please take it aside. Don't throw it away, of course. Keep it somewhere else for another day that you need to write something relating to it. The next one is use connectors and transitions, right? Words like firstly, however, for example, as a result, in conclusion, all these words help us to link our ideas. So how would I know that you are concluding? In conclusion, this was what happened, then however something else happened. If I want to know that this is the first point after the introduction, this is the first point that you are stating, I will say firstly, right? So all these words help us to connect different ideas together. If I just write like that without connecting them, my ideas are too scattered. And the point of writing is to ensure that your readers understand from the introduction So your conclusion, if they are not having a flow at all, readers will get confused and easily bored. So please and please group your ideas and always use connectors to write. Thank you.
That's very beautiful. So when you've grouped your idea, next thing is for you to generate ideas for your writing content. Get so how do you get this idea? How do you get to get this writing? You get so our next like idea is brainstorming. So brainstorming is a fun way to come up with ideas. It's like talking about something with Arabella. We could be having a discussion about a book. We'll be having a discussion about a meeting, what was discussed in the meeting, and then we could get ideas on how to write about the meeting properly that someone that couldn't attend the meeting would understand better. You could ponder on something, brainstorm, and then we have solution on proper planning, and then get it into writing. So jot down every thought you have without judgment. There's something we call when we were studying writing. There's something we call shitty first draft. So you don't have to ignore the shitty first draft. First draft is like a blank slate. When a child is born, they call the child tabula rasa. So it's a blank slate. You have to pen everything down. So imagine having a child that doesn't have arms. Yeah, he doesn't have arms to hold a pencil. But then that wheel for the child to write and for the child to paint or color is in it. So now the child would demand for a crayon, and then you give the child a crayon. Imagine the child holding a crayon in her mouth or in his mouth to paint, and then the kind of beauty that unfolds in that, it's just alarming. Do you get? So you don't have to judge how this art is being portrayed. You get? So jot down every thought you have. Don't think about it. Don't think this is my personal life I'm trying to put out there. Don't think, okay, this is I'm writing too much about my parents. I'm writing too much about my teacher. I'm writing too much about my preacher. Just jot them down. Jot them down. Keep jotting them down without judgment. Don't judge yourself. Just write it down, and then when you are done, we'll get to that part. So the next technique you use is called mind mapping technique. So mind mapping is having your own mindset, and we'll get deeply into that when we talk about perspective. Like we gave a window thought on it when we talked about in our previous class, where you get your daddy perspective, you get your mommy's perspective, you get your own perspective. What your daddy sees you and your mommy do, what your mommy sees you and your daddy do, and what you see your mom and your dad do. You get? So when you put all that intact, and all your words must be related, write simple words for your related chosen topic, so you don't get your readers overboard. Do you understand? So keep all this in check, and then you'll be a very, very wonderful writer. So Arabella, you take the next slide when we talk about the mind mapping, and then you explain further on that. Can you hear me? Can I be heard?
Yes, I can hear you. So I can hear you. I'm sure our
Okay, I
network
think
is
we've lost our
crappy or something.
Yeah, I think we've lost our coordinator. Okay, I'll proceed. So mind mapping, like I explained earlier, it's about you drawing your main topic in the center of the page. Like you could see from our presentation, there's a mind mapping. It's like drawing out a plan, how you want to execute the plan. Maybe you're trying to plan a birthday party, and then first off, you write out what is the goal. How many people are you inviting? Is there any fun that you want to bring to the party? How do you want to get this all done? How do you want to take this all out? So once you get all this mapped out, you find out that it is simpler for you to bring the ideas. So you start thinking from this other person's perspective. You start thinking from the other side of the corner. You'll be looking, okay, you start at, okay, what if my cat saw me do this? What would my cat think of me? What if my dog saw me do this? What would my dog think of me? Okay, what is the time saying? What thought did the time have? The time waits for no man, we know. Yeah, so the time is always on time, like it implies. So it's always running back and forth, back and forth. So now, when you draft out this stuff on your mind mapping, then you branch out the related ideas Then ask examples. Add examples to them and then ask questions as well. So personal essays and observation. You have to share your real life stories, the lessons you've learned, and your observation. When you get to ask yourself questions, what if this happened? Okay, how can someone achieve this? Okay, what if it happens that you don't come out the best in your class? What's going to happen to you? How is mommy going to see you? So you mean you can attend Charlie summer camp and then you go back home, you cannot write your essay? Like, what if you cannot write, but we don't use that what if question in here? You get, because we are here to train you to be the best for the society. You get. So what if and how to? So the question you should be asking yourself is how to get this done? How to get this done? Because now the what if question now comes in. What if you don't know how to get this done? But you need to know how to get this done. So you have to look for engaging topics. Get your readers all along and lead them on for your writing skills to make sure that the world sees the best in you. So, in conclusion, start with a clear structure because the writing has a beginning, has a middle, and has a organize your ideas so they make sense. Don't be jumping, don't be to Barbie's story, jumping from Barbie's story to Snow White and Cinderella. They will not make sense. They will not make sense. How do you start mixing up the characters? When you start mixing up the characters, start talking about Avatar, start talking about Sing. It does not sink. It'll be like, what is this writer trying to do? What is the writer trying to do? So get your ideas organized so they will make sense. Use different ways to generate your ideas. So you have something to write about. Try brainstorming. If it doesn't work, try mind mapping. If it doesn't work, try drafting things out. Look at different perspectives. So writing is not just about art, but the world. So thank you for being part of Childish Summer Camp 2025 and joining our class today. So if you have any questions, come to our comment section and drop them. If you have any questions, we have a page where you can drop any questions you have and then stay glued and we'll give you more and more classes to come. We have with us our camp director, Madam Tete Blessed. Yeah, our Rebella is back with us. So Madam Tete Blessed, welcome. You could say a word or two. Can I be heard?
A word or two. I said this now.
This
Now,
is so
Say a word or
beautiful.
two. A word or
You're welcome to the team. I love this. I love this. No, I know you're in the team already, but this is awesome.
Please take
Thank
it
you.
over from here.
Thank you. A word or two. Nice.
Yeah, please take. I'm
two.
done now.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Good morning. So I just said, come and check out what you guys are doing. And I must say that I am very much impressed. Thank you so much for attending today's class. It was lovely having to just, sneak in and see the amazing thing that you guys did. Well done. See you on Monday for your next class.
Thank you very much.